Good morning. It is Monday, September 15th. We still have quite a bit of craziness heading our way, but today is kind of a slow day. We have the moon in Cancer, which it's got us in a bit of an emotional space. In case you can't tell from my tone of voice and such, I'm struggling a little bit today, having a really rough time. And the moon doesn't make any aspects until overnight tonight in the middle of the night. So it's not really being tied down to anything or anchored to anything. So it's just very emotional. And then we have the Venus-Mars sextile, and this is a closing sextile. This is the story between Venus and Mars that began in February of last year of 2024. That conjunction was in Aquarius, so maybe you started something new that had something to do with your social life, how you value yourself within your social groups, the community in general, maybe even just the way you're looking at the world around us and the collective around us. But there could be relationships involved in here and things of that nature. And we're at that closing point where we're finishing out that story, and it'll start new in January of next year in Capricorn. So really think about the cycle that you've been in when it comes to your relationships and your value, maybe your relationship to money as well over this last almost 2 years now. Think about where you've come, where you've gotten to since then. But this is closing those things out. This is a good time to really talk about it or write it down or journal about it. It's just processing the emotions of everything that has happened since February of last year when it comes to your values, your money, your relationships, your friendships, your community, things of that nature. But that's really all that's going on today. It could be very emotional, so just kind of keep that in mind. Don't beat yourself up if you're feeling down today. I think it's going to be a pretty collective feeling for the day. The energy of the day is the Four of Pentacles. We know that things are changing, but we don't want them to change. I personally am struggling with the fact that the realtor put the for sale sign in front of my house yesterday. I don't want this. This is not what I want, but it is what has to happen. So we all have something that we're dealing with like that right now. It could be about finances, or it could just be life in general. What we are focusing on is the Eight of Cups, that walking away, that letting go, very emotional journey type of energy here. Just pay attention to the feelings that come up today. Process them, don't bypass them, don't try to go around them. Really deal with them and face them head on, because we've got to close out this story strong, make sure that we're actually accepting the reality of things so that we can start fresh in January when we have that new conjunction happening. What we're avoiding is the Magician. Don't try to make anything new today. We are letting go. We are not starting fresh. We are just moving on. We are processing. We are not going to start anything new, especially when it comes to finances and relationships, because we are closing. Like anything that happens in that realm over these next few months is not likely to stick, because we're just in that ending phase. Bottom of the deck was the Four of Cups. A lot of emotional distraction going on here. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Take care of each other. Give each other space to feel what they're feeling. Don't try to cheer people up. I think that's one of my biggest irks, was always any time that I was really trying to process what was happening in my head, everybody else would be like, well, that's just life. You just got to cheer up and try to make you laugh and things like that. We really need to process these things. We've got to get through them, because the world is getting ugly. We've got to make space to heal so that we can navigate those things a lot better and more efficiently. Let's pull clarifiers for the Four of Pentacles here. Oh, Ten of Swords and Three of Pentacles. A lot of people are losing their jobs right now. A lot of people are realizing that finances are not going to be what we planned, right? That South Node in Virgo is really kind of pushing us to let go of this idea that we can have everything in our control, that we can make our plans and be in control of those plans. And this could be something about coworkers as well. Maybe you're really finding that you just don't belong in the situation that you're in. Maybe you've been trying really hard, but it might be time to really accept that this isn't for you type of energy. It is time to let go of a lot of things. Devil is on the bottom of the deck, so that is very much like this underlying energy, just knowing that things are out of your control, and it's just time to let go, even if it's painful. Clarifiers for the Eight of Cups. I have Eight of Pentacles, and one more. We have the Nine of Pentacles. A lot of Pentacles going on here. So this really has that finances thing going on. So we are letting go. We're doing that emotional journey, that getting through those heavy emotions. This is the work that you've done to have the abundance that you wanted. Like, you've probably worked really, really hard to have what you planned on having, and maybe it's just not working out like you planned, right? Again, obviously there's a lot of things that are out of our control right now. Said a lot of people are losing their jobs, massive layoffs are happening, things are just not happening as planned. We've got to process that and really accept that reality so that we can plan accordingly moving forward. Clarifiers for the Magician, we have Seven of Pentacles, more Pentacles, and more Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. So again, we're not creating anything new, we're not starting fresh, we're not planting a new seed, right? Because that's going to be really tempting. It's going to be really, really tempting to like just try to fix the plan that you already had, or to try to maybe make things grow more, maybe reaching out for help from somebody else or something like that. There's going to be this real temptation to try to cling to the idea of what you thought was going to be. And again, we're just in a space where it's not going to happen the way we planned for it to happen. There's a lot, just so many things between like technology taking over in the way that it has and things like that. We're just not going to have the future that we thought that we were going to have. We've been told our whole lives that we were going to have, and a lot of changes and adjustments are going to have to be made because of that. The bottom of the deck is the King of Swords, so there is that underlying energy of a truth being spoken, of a knowing that truth. That moon in Cancer is very intuitive, so we need to make sure we're listening to that intuition. The North Node in Pisces, very intuitive, especially with that North Node being ruled by Mercury retrograde in Aries. It is really showing you, like through intuitive ways, signs, communication from, you know, God, Spirit, Universe, whatever you call it, that shows you that you're going to have to change the way that you are approaching things here. So really listen to the truth, be willing to accept truth today and process through it.